name is Malika and I love to talk about movies, but we first need to address something about how fabulous these flip-flops are. Look at those. I mean, seriously, look at these spikes. These were purchased by a very wonderful fan who loves my Wedge flip-flops, loves my feet in Wedge flip-flops, and he bought these for me. I'm going to try not to cut myself as I am sitting here on this couch. Oh, how perfect are these for some horror movie fun. Yay! I love them, and I'm definitely going to be doing some more videos in these shoes. Anyways, back to the movie. We are talking about 30 Days of Night. Yes, this is a vampire movie, and I could definitely spend all of Halloween talking about vampires. But this one I have to say, I didn't like when I first saw it. Because vampires drink blood, right? That's their food. So why would they go around just ripping people's throats out and letting the blood spray all over the place? That never made sense to me, why vampires in so many movies are just messy. It seems very much like a waste. And so this movie was super duper wasteful when I first saw it, and I just didn't care for it that much. But as I rewatched it, I realized what I guess I missed from the first time. Let me start from the beginning. This is a movie based in Alaska where every now and then there is 30 days of pure darkness. Perfect for vampires, right? Now, most of the town leaves this Alaskan village during this time, and there's only about 100 or so villagers left, and one of them is the sheriff named Eben, and his ex, who is trying to leave, actually gets stuck there because their friends want to see him back together, blah, blah, blah. So this stranger shows up. Now, he shows up because there's this big ship in the icy water, and he's kind of walking away from the ship, so I assume all the vampires came from there. That's kind of what they're inferring. And he has immediately killed this pack of snow dogs, which is awful. And he's cut the power to the internet and the phones. Of course, you can't have a scary movie if you can actually contact the outside world, because you have to stay scared and alone. Well, this stranger obviously ends up in jail for what he's done. The first time we see these vampires, they're weird looking. I'm just going to say it. They're weird looking. They look a little alien-like. They've got kind of longer nose. Their eyes are all angled up and with the bigger cheekbones, except for the main guy. He looks like himself, except for the crazy teeth. Now, the teeth aren't the normal vampire teeth. They're, I don't know. They're all spiky. They're just not pretty vampires. They're kind of weird looking. And right off the bat, they're just killing people. They're just chopping their heads off and just having a grand old time. And what you need to pay attention to, what I didn't apparently in the first time I watched it, was what they're actually saying. They don't say much, but they're saying stuff like, we should have come here ages ago. And it's kind of inferring like it's a little vacation for them. They're just having some sport. It's not really just for food. They're just having a grand old time because these people can't go anywhere. They're stuck in this Alaskan village. They can't call anybody for help, and nobody's going to come to help because it's dark. I mean, they can't see anything there. They just get free range of this whole village area, and that is why they're just making a mess of everything. In fact, they walk around with half their faces just completely covered in blood. So, of course, the whole town is basically acting like rats. They're just having to hide from this big pack of vampires. I think there was like 20 of them. And I never really counted them, but there was quite a few of them. And they're just going on a rampage, basically, and the humans are having to act like rats. Quite frankly, that is the whole meat of the movie. They're just hiding. You know, a lot of stuff happens with the hiding and with them trying not to get caught and trying not to be too noisy or the vampires will hear them, but that is the basic meat of the movie. Now, at the end, Eben gets all heroic, and even though this woman didn't want to be with him, he wants to go out and save her. They've all actually made it the almost full 30 days somehow, just hiding from vampires, and he has to take blood from someone who is turned Oh, by the way, that's why they were cutting the heads off. This is the type of movie where if someone gets bit, they turn into a vampire. They don't want any more of these vampires. They chop their heads off so they don't turn. Well, a little girl gets turned, and that's kind of an interesting thing where the little girl is a vampire. And a couple of the other townspeople do too. So he takes some of the blood of one of the people that turned and puts it in himself. So now he is turning into a vampire. Now they've got a few hours or so before he completely turns. So he decides to go battle with that head vampire, and he ends up winning, and all the other vampires kind of back away from him so that he can save his ex, who is trapped under a car. Now, what's he going to do? He doesn't even want to attempt to live as a vampire, so they wait for the sunrise. And that's it. He just gets burned. He just sacrificed himself to save a woman that didn't like him or want to be with him. So, yay, what a hero. Anyways, it really seems like there's not a lot to this movie because really there wasn't. But I think it's worth watching for entertainment purposes if you do like vampire movies. My husband, for one, is not a person who loves horror movies. In fact, I can't get him to watch one with me unless it's got vampires. There's just something about vampires that make movies so much better. I love vampire movies. I'm sure you do too, because why would you be watching this if you didn't love vampire movies? Right? Why would you be watching this if you didn't like vampire movies?